What's up guys, it's Johnny here from Retroplay Games, and today we're coming at you with a double feature opening. The new Grand Archive set, Alchemical Revolution. We're going to crack a case of booster boxes and open all three of the starter decks. Let's do it. Alright, here we go guys. So we're going to start with the three starter decks. So Alchemical Revolution introduces three new classes. So we have the Wind Guardian deck here. That's going to be Tenoris, is the Guardian class. We have Arasana is the Cleric class. And then we have Diana is the Ranger class. Diana is the class that I'm personally the most excited to play. But I think there's definitely something new here, of course, for everybody. And this will flesh out all of the intended classes for Grand Archive. So it's not going to be the end of the champions that we see, but it is going to give us all of the classes that are intended to be in the game. And then the next set, Mercurial Heart, is going to be a supplemental set that will flesh out all of the classes. So fingers crossed that we get some love for Tamer. But again, I am really excited to try out the Ranger class. So we're going to open that one last. We'll start with Tenoris here, the Wind Guardian. On the wobbliest camera setup in the world, I have to get a way to mount my camera not on my desk. It's not mounted to my desk, it's mounted onto my monitor, which creates a bit of a problem. If you breathe on it, it will start the wobbling. So I do apologize for any of that happens in the meantime. So excited. Camera is quivering with anticipation. So here we go. For those of you that are new to the game, there is a chance to get some really cool collector super rare cards in the decks here of the heroes. I did not pull any from my other starter decks, and I'm not aware of anybody from my store that pulled any from the starter deck batches that we got. It's 1 in 70 decks is the odds. And then you do get a quick start guide here, so feel free to scan that QR code. Visit gatcg.com/quickstart. It's going to give you a primer of all the rules. And all of that good stuff to get you started. So this is a great entry point. This is a brand new core set. Fractured Crown was the last set, was a supplemental set to help flesh out the heroes from Dawn of Ashes from set 1. So this is, again, 3 brand new classes that are being introduced. We get early access to this stuff, so thank you Weebs of the Shore. They did put out an announcement that stores were able to open product and put up videos early. I've been really excited. Anybody that has been around the store or talked to me recently knows this is my favorite TCG, hands down. Super good gameplay, super good art, all original IP, can't say enough good things about it. And I'm really happy to see Weebs of the Shore come up from their humble Kickstarter beginnings to what they are now. So definitely check this out. If you're local to Sarnia, we're doing Grand Archive every Wednesday. So that's standard constructed play, and we are also working on introducing our own multiplayer format, which has been super fun. And we've got event packs and everything available. There's plenty of starter decks in stock for you to jump in, tons of singles, and we do give away free singles to our players to get the communities going. So it's the same thing that we do with Flesh and Blood. There's a huge pile of singles, and I would love to see you take some of them home and get these starter decks up and running for yourself. So I'm going to open a case here. I also have 2 more cases of boxes on hand. We do have the Alchemical Revolution Welcome Kit, which is awesome. It comes with some foil stamped promos. So those of you that are familiar with Magic pre-releases, we're not doing a pre-release for this. It is just on launch day, which is Friday the 26th. But we do have a Welcome Kit, so there's going to be plenty of foil promos to go around. Make sure you stop in Retroplay Games and get your hands on one. So we're going to be doing launch, which coincides with our Flesh and Blood pre-release on Friday. So all of the starter decks and the booster boxes are going to be available for pickup, and then the following Wednesday is when we're going to be running our first event. So we're going to do starter decks plus a couple of packs. It's going to be a nice sealed event for everybody, and that will be your chance to get your hands on those beautiful promos. I didn't bring the Welcome Kit home. I left it at the store. I want that to be cracked open fresh for the players. But in the meantime, we do have these starter decks to open up. So there's the quick start for you there. I'm not going to ramble on too much more. Chances are good that most of you that are watching this are familiar with the game already. So we're going to crack into this starter deck here and check out what's coming for us in Tenoris. Are we going to get the collector in this deck? So we get level 2 Tenoris. We get a Spirit of Wind. Level 1 Tenoris, Lone Mercenary. Level 3, introducing the new Neos Advanced Element. So that's kind of the way that everything works. You start off with an Elemental Spirit. It's just the very basic level 0 guy that you materialize on your first turn. And then as you go through the game, you progress. You'll level up your champion to level 1, level 2, and level 3, depending on what build you're playing. And that's going to unlock the advanced element for you. There we go. In this case is Neos, one of the brand new advanced elements. And then you have a material deck, so this is where your weapons and some of the other items that you're using in the game. There we go. Come on, camera, you can do it. Charged Mana Plate, Crest of the Alliance, Power Charge Shield, Worn Gearblade, Deployment Beacon, Archon Broadsword, a Neos Regalia weapon there. Nice rare card. Sentinel Fabricator, so the Guardian class in Grand Archive is focused on summoning out like obelisks and automatons. So it's an ally heavy strategy with big swingy attacks. So heavy swing there, you see swings for 6, cost 6, class bonus, card costs 2 less to activate, so if you are in the Guardian class you're going to get a little bit of a bonus there. We got Imperial Recruit, so Foster is the new ability that's Guardian-centric here. If an ally hasn't taken damage since the end of your last turn, it becomes fostered, and then it's going to get a bonus based on that. So 4 copies of Imperial Recruit. The great thing about these decks is they are a full 60-card deck, plus the full material deck that you need. So these are ready to go right out of the box. They're not like an intro deck or anything like that you might see in other games. Imperial Sentry, we've got Intercept on this, so it allows them to jump in the way of attacks that target your champion and absorb some damage for you, and then you get a level bonus there. It's going to get an extra +1 health. Into the Fray, we got 3 copies of Into the Fray here, so up to 1 target ally you control gets +1 attack until end of turn for each other ally you control. That is a pretty bonkers card, plus class bonus you get Floating Memory. The way that you pay for materials, the way that you pay for costs in the game is to use cards from your hand to put them down into your memory zone down here. And then for material cards, you banish cards from your memory into the banishment pile. So Floating Memory is a very powerful ability that lets you use this in place of banishing a card for one of your material costs. Martial Guard, next time a target unit will be dealt damage this turn, prevent 2 of that, plus a Floating Memory on it. 4 copies of that for you. Novice Mechanist, Foster. On Foster, summon an Automaton Drone token. 4 copies of that. Then we got Stalwart Shieldmate. This is a nice reprint, new art. So Taunt and Floating Memory on that for 2 cost, 4 copies of it. It's a great staple card that a lot of meta decks are playing. Take point, your champion gains Taunt until the beginning of your next turn, so your champion's going to be able to jump in the way of attacks that are targeting your allies. So he's going to be able to absorb a bunch of damage, keep your allies on the board, which is going to help to get that fostered ability to trigger, plus a class bonus of Floating Memory, so there's 4 copies of that in the deck. This is Wind Element, so we do have Wind Element cards in here. We have Cyclonic Strike. So for class bonus, you pay 0 and Suppress, which means to rest or tap, like if you're playing Magic. Suppress target ally you don't control. If you do, it gets +2, so this is an attack card in itself. And you can add it on to weapons to boost the attack of that. We've got 3 copies of Cyclonic Strike. We've got Recruitment Officer, class bonus for Foster. And then when it becomes fostered, you can look at the top 5 cards of your deck, reveal an ally from among them, and put it into your hand, and the rest go on the bottom. 4 copies of that guy. Rousing Slam. So on attack, class bonus, level 2 up. Attacker gains Vigor and Taunt. Vigor is like the card doesn't rest when it attacks. And Taunt, again, you can jump in the way of attacks that are targeting your allies or your champion. It must be targeted, actually. Winds of Retribution. Sorry, I'm getting a little excited here. Card costs 2 less to activate for class bonus level 2 up, and then allies you control get +2 until end of turn. That is a big, expensive card. 2 copies of that in the deck for you. Young Peacekeeper, there's 3 copies, so it has the Foster ability again, and when you trigger that, it gets +1 attack and +1 health as long as it's fostered, and class bonus of Floating Memory, so 3 copies there. Assemble the Ancients, we get a super rare in the deck. Sacrifice any number of domains. That's the word I was looking for earlier. So the Guardian summons domains, and those are more useful in this deck than they have been in others. And then summon that many automaton drone tokens. So you're going to go wide with a big army of little dudes. Tokens enter the field rested, so they're tapped. It's like Summoning Sickness in Magic, with an amount of buff counters or +1/+1 counters on it equal to the amount of domains sacrificed this way, and they gain vigor. Neo's Sight. All of the elements have a sight card like this in their element. It's going to cost 0, and then you get to draw a card. If you control 8 or more objects, draw a card into your memory, which is super powerful, so there's 3 copies of that. Then we have Smash with Obelisk, so there's an additional cost to activate, sacrifice a domain. It will get +X, where X is the reserve cost of the sacrificed domain, so potential for some big swingy damage there. 3 copies, and then Summon Sentinel, so 1 less to activate for each domain you control, and summon 2 automaton drone tokens, each with a buff or +1/+1 counter on them if you hit that class bonus. So very exciting. I think that Tenoris is a very straightforward deck to play. So he's going to be very newbie friendly. There are some rather complex interactions and stuff that go on in Grand Archive, and different abilities and combos and things. There's a lot of depth to it, just like there is any other game. But Tenoris, I think, is going to be a very straightforward champion to play. So if you are brand new to the game, I would recommend picking him up. There's been a lot of speculation in the community that he's going to be one of the better champions to release in this set. So we'll see how that all plays out. I'm excited to see when we crack into this case what kind of support cards we're going to be picking up for these starter decks. And then next we've got Arasana, our Cleric class. Probably going to be the most difficult of the 3 to play, I think. She relies on summoning herb tokens and stuff to pay for her abilities and trigger different things. There's a lot of complex interaction. Oh, she comes with a die. That's really cool. This is the... Very nice. Come on, camera. You can do it. Not picking it up very well. Camera doesn't like the glare. There we go. Better, better. Ah. Well, you'll see when you pick one up. But some of her tokens that she summons will require you to roll a die in order to decide which one it is that you're going to get. So instead of a boring old D6, you get one that actually has the pictures of the different elements on it, which is awesome. And then she also includes this little cardboard token board there, so you can keep track of the number of different reagents that you have. So you can see here on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 which one corresponds to which. And then we also have the fancy dancy dice here. There we go. That will help you to determine which kind of reagents you are summoning. Really cool that they included that, actually. That's a really nice touch. Love it. Set this off to the side. Every deck will come with one of these. Oh, there's some extra stuff in here too. Is there extra stuff in the Tenoris one? Oh, there is extra stuff in the Tenoris one. There's some cards in here. Let's see what we get, actually. I thought it was just a quick start guide, but it is not. So we've got... Oh, okay, so there's tokens. Automaton drone tokens. Great Sword. Obelisk. Obelisk. Very token-centric, this set, so we are going to need those. I'm assuming it's going to be the same for Arasana, because the tokens are actually in-game objects, so they do have to be on the field represented as well. Yes, so we are getting the reagent tokens. Beautiful full art on those too. It'd be great to see a foil one come out of the pack or be released in the future. I would be very happy about that. Set our tokens off to the side. Quick start guides, garbage. Always got a massive pile to clean up here when I'm done opening stuff. Let's go Collector Super Rare Arasana. That would be a beautiful pull. 1 in 70 decks, like I said. We do have a chance at getting some in the booster boxes here. I'm not sure what the rate is of pulls. They did a guaranteed Collector Super Rare per case in Fractured Crown, and we got the Merlin Collector Super Rare out of that, which was gorgeous. The Collector Super Rares in this game, absolutely gorgeous. Foils are hard to get, so everything shiny feels like it's, you know, special again. So Arasana, like I said, we have the Cleric class here. So her ability is to gather, which is to produce those tokens that you're seeing there before. She's a water element by starter deck. You have the option to choose of the 3 different elements which one you want to play, which gives a huge depth of customization to the decks in this game, which I also love. Arasana, level 1, Herbalist Prodigy, Master Alchemist there, and then level 3 introduces the Astra element, is Arasana's advanced element here. So her equipment, Cleric Robes, Ingredient Pouch. Don't need to read all the cards for you guys, you're able to read, and these have also been spoiled, so not really anything new I think we're going to see until we get into the booster boxes. Prototype Staff, Scale of Souls, Synth Disruptor, until end of turn automaton allies enter the field rested, so that's a response to the Tenoris summoning those automatons, which I believe the Ranger also favors doing that as well. Cosmic Astroscope is her main weapon. Then we have Academy Attendant, so class bonus, memory 4 up, so you have to be the actual cleric and have 4 or more cards in your memory, and it will get +1. Attack, 3 copies of that for you. Barter Herbs, you can sacrifice up to 2 herbs, and for each one summon your choice of a different herb. Plus it has floating memory for the class bonus there. Super powerful mechanic, 3 copies of Barter Herbs. Caretaker Drone, we're getting automatons in here, so it has the intercept ability, and then class bonus on depth Glimpse, which is to look at the cards from your deck, and then you may put them on the top or bottom in any order. Super powerful. She has her Star Calling ability, which I should have touched on here. And that's why Glimpse is super important in this deck. So Arasana level 3, she has the ability to pay 0 rather than pay a Star Calling cost. And Star Calling is essentially when you would glimpse and see a card, you have the option to play it off of your deck. 3 copies of Foraging Servant, so on enter gather, and then class bonus for floating memory. 2 cost, you get 4 copies of that. Potion of Healing. Brew 2 herbs, and then, so to brew you would sacrifice 2 herbs, and then sacrifice Healing Potion to recover 5, which is pretty healthy chunk of your life there. Scry the Skies is a reprint from set 1, so you glimpse up to your level. 3 copies of that for you. Serum of Wisdom. Brew 3 herbs, and then sacrifice Serum of Wisdom, glimpse 3, draw a card into your memory. 3 copies of that. Essence of Blizzards. So brew 1 adjuvant and 1 catalyst, and then you sacrifice Essence of Blizzard to deal 1 damage to target unit. So that includes champions or allies. The unit is champion or ally. And if that unit's rested, you deal 1+ level to it instead, and until end of turn, allies enter the field rested. So water, traditionally the more control-oriented element in this game, and the potion there definitely feeding into that. So with Flash Freeze, this card costs 2 less to activate with class bonus, and then you can negate target card activation unless its controller pays level. And then banish if that card had its activation negated this way, so you don't get any bonuses from sending it to the graveyard. 3 copies of Flash Freeze. Hypothermia. Target rested ally gets -4 health until end of turn. That's a super powerful card. It's going to kill off most of the problematic stuff in the game. So there's 3 copies of that in the deck. You get Crystalline Distiller, so class bonus on enter. If you've brewed a potion this turn, draw a card into memory. 2 copies of that. Perfect Repulsion, 2 copies. The next time target unit you control would take exactly X damage this turn, prevent it, where X is the amount of cards in your memory. Draw a card if damage was prevented this way. Everybody knows drawing cards in TCG is super powerful. Potion Infusion Clarity, so class bonus, costs 2 less to activate. Rest target potion, if you do, it gains on sacrifice, draw 2 cards until end of turn, so that's super powerful. 2 copies of that. Potion Infusion Frostbite, and rest target potion, if you do, it gains on sacrifice, rest target unit. The next time that unit would take damage from a water element source this turn, it takes that much damage +4 instead. 3 copies. 3 copies of Stream of Consciousness here, so class bonus memory 4 up, glimpse 3, and then draw a card into your memory. So you get to look at the top 3 cards and then choose one to put on your deck or put on the bottom. And then again with the Star Calling ability, you're going to start to see some pretty bonkers plays available to you without actually having to dig or get the cards into your hand. So Water Barrier, 2 copies, next time you'll be dealt damage, prevent all but 1 of that damage, and Floating Memory, which is awesome. Astro Sight, again there's sight cards for every element, so Star Calling 0, there's that ability finally making its appearance on the Astro cards. So Star Calling 0, you can play it for its cost while you're glimpsing if you find it, and then glimpse 1 and draw a card. So there are 3 copies of Astrocyte in there. Comet Fall, pretty bonkers card. Deal 3 damage to all non-Astro Element allies, and it has Star Calling 2. Class bonus, deal 4 instead, so a nice board wipe. That's going to help you, if you're not playing a more ally-centric strategy, which a lot of the meta decks are. This is going to help you to board wipe and get back under control, because you're going to want to try to turbo to level 3 to start taking advantage of these Star Calling abilities. The advanced elements take a little bit to unlock because they do feature the most powerful cards in the game, so you do have to spend some time leveling and building up in order to actually take advantage of these. You can't just play them out the gate, which is great. It builds up more strategy. Condensed Supernova. Brew 1 Sunshine, 2 Adjuvants. This is a potion. Sacrifice it, deal level damage to all non-Astra units. Crazy, so you're going to want to use some level boosting stuff in this deck as well. We got Cosmic Bolt at 4 copies, Star Calling 2, deal 4 damage to target unit, plus an additional 2 for each card named Cosmic Bolt in your graveyard, and Banishment. So we're going to want to cycle through all 4 of those cards. Then we have Potion Infusion Starlight. Class bonus, Star Calling 1, rest target potion. If you do, it gets on sacrifice until end of turn. Your champion gets +4 level, which is going to help you to deal those game-ending combos. And Spell Shield Astra. Class bonus, 2 less to activate. Next time damage would be dealt to your champion, prevent that damage, and Glimpse X, where X is the damage prevented this way. So, as you can see, I know that's a lot to take in. I'm kind of trying to get through these as fast as I can because I do still have a case of booster boxes that I have to open here. But Arasana does have some very complex interactions, and you're going to have to strategically summon your different tokens and keep on top of all that kind of stuff as you're progressing. And it's, I think, definitely she's going to have the highest learning curve of all 3 of the starter decks. So if you're not new to trading card games and you like a challenge, definitely Arasana is the deck that I would recommend to pick up for you. She is going to provide you definitely a learning opportunity as you get your feet wet with Grand Archive, or for returning players, I'm actually super excited to give her a try too. But like I said, the Diana is definitely the deck I've been most excited about. Play the Ranger. Set these aside, and then we will jump into Diana, the last of the 3 starter decks. Can we get a collector super rare out of these? That would be the ultimate, would be to get a collector super rare out of the decks and then pull one out of the boxes. Collector ultra rare out of the boxes too. We'll see what we're able to get here. So Diana, Deadly Duelist. She's going to have some tokens for us as well. So Diana functions a little differently in comparison to the other heroes, so we do have to materialize guns for her as her weapon of choice, and then you get bullets that you put into your gun. So it almost feels kind of like playing Lexi or one of the other Ranger heroes from Flesh and Blood, where you have to load your gun before you're able to attack with it every turn. Yeah, so we get some curses here. Creeping Torment, and she introduces the Umbra element. 3 Creeping Torments for the Diana starter deck. Can we get a super rare out of this? Collector super rare. Let's see it. Cannot wait to give her a play the following Wednesday when we do our release event. So here we go. Diana level 2. Materialize a bullet from your material deck, and inherited effect is range 2. She is a fire element. Keen Huntress, she has Lineage Release, so you can materialize a gun from your material deck, and you activate that by banishing this card from your champion's inner lineage, which is kind of a cool new effect that they've added. And then for Diana level 3, on enter she becomes Distant, and on champion hit, generate a Creeping Torment card and put it on the bottom of the hit champion's lineage. So every time she attacks and is successful, well, not every time she attacks and is successful, but the concept of the deck is that she is applying curses to her enemy, which is awesome. So I guess for level 3, yes, on champion hit, generate a Creeping Torment, those tokens that we saw earlier. So her equipment includes a Blast Shot Pump here, so class bonus combat damage will be dealt to a unit by an attack using it, then damage is dealt to that unit and an additional unit you don't control instead. Very cool. Flash Grenade, on enter, draw a card, banish, until end of turn, damage will be dealt to a distant unit, prevent 3 of it. Keep your guys alive. Plated Bullet is renewable. So if it would be banished from the field or an intent put it into its owner's material deck instead, so you're going to be constantly able to recycle these bullets. You load it into an unloaded gun. Prototype pistol. On enter, prototype pistol gets +1 attack until end of turn if you have the class bonus. Quick draw piercer. Another gun. Taser shot. So this is a bullet loaded into unloaded gun weapon you control, and on champion hit, whenever the hit champion levels up, deal unpreventable 4 damage to them. That's super good. So you punish them for leveling up, which you do have to do, like I said, in order to unlock the most powerful cards available to you. Penetrator round, another bullet loaded into an unloaded gun. Don't need to talk about that every time. And then class bonus level 2 up on attack. This attack gains combat damage dealt by this attack is unpreventable, which is awesome. Shadow's Twin, another gun. When it becomes loaded, it gets +2 attack until end of turn, and it has 5 durability, so you're going to be able to shoot this 5 times, which is pretty awesome before it goes to the banishment. And class bonus, whenever an attack using this weapon triggers an on-hit ability, that ability is triggered an additional time as a super rare. So you're going to want to use this for sure with Diana level 3s. That on-hit is going to generate a curse, and then this gun is going to give you an additional on-hit, and I wonder what kind of other cool on-hit effects we're going to see as we get through the deck. Backstep, target unit becomes distant, and again there's abilities in this that rely on distant allies, and then you draw a card. 1, 2, 3, 4 copies of that. Evasive maneuvers, prevent the next 2 damage that will be dealt to target unit this turn. If it's a ranger, it becomes distant. Get 4 copies of that as well. Idle Thoughts is a reprint. Look at the top 4 cards of your deck and put them back in any order, plus floating memory, so we get 4 copies of that, which is great. We want to dig for the cards that we want. Imperial Rifleman is range 2, so as long as it's distant, its attacks get +2, and then class bonus on enter, Imperial Rifleman becomes distant, so he can automatically trigger his own ability. We get 3 of those. Materialized Munitions. Card costs 1 less to activate. Materialize a bullet card from your material deck. Getting extra stuff out of your material deck is super powerful. Beseech the Winds was a card from Dawn of Ashes that allowed you to do that, which does allow you to actually level your champion an additional time a turn or get that extra strategic item that you need. Reposition. Target unit becomes distant and class bonus floating memory while paying for memory cost. You can banish that instead. Again, super powerful. We get Supply Drone. Beginning of your recollection phase, materialize a bullet card. Memory cost 0. Super handy. 2 copies of that there. Take Aim, so target unit's next attack this turn gets +2, which is awesome, and for class bonus, that unit also gains range 2 until end of turn. 3 copies of that. Take Cover. This card costs 1 less to activate on class bonus, and then target unit you control gains stealth until end of turn. That unit becomes distant as well. So stealth, they can't be targeted by attacks, which is awesome. It's going to make stuff really hard to remove from the board, actually. And then we have a Trained Sharpshooter, so class bonus range 2, as long as it's distant, its attacks get +2. So a 2/3 for 3, plus an additional 2 attack. That's actually a pretty powerful card. 3 copies of that in the deck. Airship Engineer, so class bonus range 2, its attacks will get +2. And then on enter, if you control a distant unit, draw a card into your memory. There's 3 copies of that. Super powerful card. Automaton Bomber, ranged 4, and then class bonus to get that floating memory. We've got 3 copies of that. Going for Fire here, which is awesome. Fire is very aggressive, lots of card cycling, and gives you big card advantage when you get the engine rolling. I'm currently playing a Fire Merlin deck, and it can be pretty oppressive. Getting into the Crux element for Merlin is what really gets it going, because it goes to Pendragon, which is probably the best card in the game at this point, but the Fire engine really does enable that. So choose a Fire and Norm element bullet card from your material deck with memory cost 0 and load it into target gun weapon you control. Not bad. 2 copies of that. Incendiary Shot. So load Incendiary Shot into target unloaded gun, and then on hit deal 2 damage to the hit unit. So pushing extra damage there. 4 copies of that in the deck. Rocket Jump, class bonus. You get 2 less to activate on it, and target unit becomes distant. If it's defending, deal 4 damage to its attacker. So it's like a trap card that's going to help you remove your opponent's allies from the board. And then we get into the Umbra element cards here. So Anathema's End, another super rare in the deck, which is really cool to see. Load Anathema's End into target unloaded gun, and then class bonus on champion hit, banish all curse cards in the hit champion's lineage. For each one banished this way, deal 2 unpreventable damage to that champion. So this is really good in conjunction with the other weapon that she has that doubles the on hit. You create a curse onto them, and then you load this weapon in once you've loaded them up with curses, and you're going to deal a bunch of damage to get that final kill. So we get 4, wow, 4, oh okay, no, I was like, wow, 4 copies of that, that'd be absolutely insane. 4 super rares. Creeping Torment, so on enter, put Creeping Torment in the bottom of target champion's lineage. So this is a curse, and then again, when you draw your second card each turn, deal 2 unpreventable damage to this object. So that's super powerful. I really like the thought of cursing up and then blowing out with that one last finish. Mindbreak Bullet, loaded into target unloaded gun. On champion hit with class bonus, look at that opponent's memory and discard a card from it. So ripping cards is super powerful. We get Umbra Sight, of course, for draw a card for 0. And you may draw a card into your memory and put Umbra Sight in the bottom of your champion's lineage. When you do, deal 2 unpreventable damage to your champion for each curse card in your champion's lineage. 2 copies of that. Umbral Tithe, this card costs 1 less to activate for each curse card in each champion's lineage. So that's going to, again, go in conjunction with loading up your opponent with curses, and then each player draws 2 cards into their memory, then deal 4 damage to each champion controlled by players with 6 or more cards in their memory. And finally, another super rare. We're getting a decent amount of super rares in this deck, actually, for Violet Haze. So all units you control become distant, so it's going to trigger tons of effects on your guys. Then put it onto the bottom of target champion's lineage, so it curses your opponent, and inherited effect this object has -2 health. So you're going to be able to kill off your opponent that much faster. And again, this is the deck that I've been the most excited to get my hands on and play, so I can't wait for Wednesday to finally give it a try. Once again, at Retroplay Games. Next Wednesday, we're doing our launch event, sealed starter decks and 4 booster packs. So this is going to be a great way to get yourself into the new set. We're going to have boxes and singles available. Definitely going to want to be coming by and checking this out. Whew. 3 starter decks in, and is it 6 boxes per case? We've got quite a bit of product left to open here. Going to be a longer video. There has been a bit of a drought of content on the channel, and for that I do apologize. So this is the first video of 2024 that's going to be coming out. And the end of 2023 was a little bit hectic, so I took a vacation. I actually went to Japan. You can see Nintendo Tokyo. I got this at the Shibuya Nintendo store. But yeah, I took a vacation to Japan. Just needed to unwind and get away. Running a business, working full-time, and the family and the band and all the other stuff that I have going on. It's the first time that I've actually really taken a break, and I really needed to do it. But I didn't neglect you guys while I was over there, so I do have some pretty cool content that's going to be coming onto the channel from my trip to Japan. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but you're definitely going to want to check that out if you are into Japanese culture and retro play games, or retro gaming rather, which you are probably because you're here on the Retro Play Games channel. So, without further ado, I'm going to scuff up my nice store champion playmat. I was the store champion of my store, which includes invite to nationals. Unfortunately, I'm not able to attend. It's in the US, but I do have the Orb of Glitter up on the shelf behind me, along with my deck boxes. Empty event kit boxes there. The event kits for this game are absolutely insane. You can pull some bonkers stuff from them. So there's collector super rares of unique allies from the set that are only available in the prize packs, plus the potential to pull a foil variant of any card in the set. We have seen some really cool stuff. Foil Grand Crusader's Ring and an Arthur Collector Super Rare came out of the last prizing box, which we had left from Dawn of Ashes. Alright, it's booster box time, and again with the wobbly camera, I do apologize. There's not really much I can do about it at this point in time. I just wanted to get the setup up and running, and I will figure out a better solution for that moving forward. Just going to set the booster boxes down on the floor because there's no need to have all of them up here. 1, 2, 3, yeah, so 6 boxes per case. Look at the artwork, guys. I love the steampunk aesthetic. I'm a big mechanologist fan from Flesh and Blood, so this really tickles my fancy in terms of that steampunk aesthetic. Alchemy and automatons and artificers. Love that kind of stuff. Box 1. We're going to try to get through this somewhat quickly. 6 boxes. It's not as bad as Fractured Crown. That video was so long. 18 boxes to open for the case. So I'm happy that we're on a core set this time, and I sincerely hope that the next supplemental set is not as oppressive. Okay, here we go. Creeping Torment, Powering Tincture, Unearthed Revelations, Excoriate, Convalescent Tunic, Airship Cruiser, Strategic Warfare, Automaton Bomber. Ooh, okay, our first foil of the box. That is beautiful. And like I said, foils are really special in this game. They don't appear, there's, I think, average of 3 per box is generally what I've seen in my opening videos. You can go back and look at Fractured Crown and Dawn of Ashes openings. Deploy Gun Shield and a False Step. That would be a beautiful foil too. So set the rares and the foils aside. Gotta get my play sets. And then of course anything left over will be available at the store. Lots of it for free, and then any value cards of course go for sale. It's very easy to pull champions, so you can choose one starter deck and buy a box, and you're going to get the champions: Harvest Herbs, Reconnaissance Field, Shimmercloak Assassin, Organize the Alliance, Palatial Concourse, Awakened Deacon, Perfect Repulsion, Overwhelming Swing, and our rare for the pack is Synthetic Core. Can't get over that Umbral foil. It looks beautiful. Love the foils in this game, especially the full art, like promo ones that Weebs did for the supporter packs. I love the Scavenging Raccoon. Love the Dungeon Guide. Dungeon Guide's a staple. They did a foil of her too. Okay, so Obelisk of Protection. We're getting tokens in here. Reconstructive Surgery, Reposition, Caretaker Drone, Enhance Hearing, Oasis Trading Post. That's really cool. Love the art on that. That would be a brilliant foil. Like a full art foil of that too would be so cool. Draft of Stamina, Rocket Jump, and then we get our rare Celestial Calling. Beefing up our Arasana. Springleaf, Excoriate, Stream of Consciousness, Reposition, Armored Valkyrie. Look at the artwork, guys. Just beautiful. Armored Valkyrie there. Beautiful art. Sidestep, Rousing Slam, Scavenge the Distillery, Crystalline Archer. Ooh, Dahlia, Idyllic Dreamer. So we got our super rare first unique ally of the set. It's going to go into a Water Ranger deck. Generally 1 ultra rare per box. I'm not sure how many there are per set. If we get lucky, we'll pull 6 unique ones. We do have the chance of getting more because we could get a foil ultra rare in addition to an ultra rare, so it's definitely possible. Study the Fables, Airship Cruiser, Organize the Alliance, Bottled Forelight, Fiery Warcry, Dominating Strike, and a Spell Shield Wind for the rare in that pack. Really beautiful pack artwork too. You can see them sitting down there, but they have a nice perforation on the right hand side that makes them very easy to open, so I don't get sore fingers from cracking. Although I will say 18 boxes still with the sore fingers. Open a case of Fractured Crown. Ooh, look at the art there. Into the Fray. That would be a brilliant foil too. Caretaker Drone, Fiery Duelist, another trading post there. Shimmercloak Assassin, Summon Sentinels, and Exalted Doromagian Throne. Really hope we pull a Collector Super Rare, Collector Ultra Rare. This is a first edition run. So they'll do like an alter edition of this sometime in the future. Zealot, Polish, Concourse, Force Load, Rigid Bash, and we get Potion Infusion Starlight for rare. Cool. Row 1, last pack. Last pack magic. Let's see what we get out of here. Diffusive Block, Academy Attendant, Plea for Peace, Airship Engineer, Wave Rider Protector, Enchaining Gale, Barter Herbs. Ooh! Wild Growth Elixir for the foil. Beautiful foil. Umbra Sight, Wimbless Gatekeeper, and Provoke Obstinance, another super rare for the box for our Guardian there. We have lots of great stuff to update these starter decks with as we move from the introductory event, into main standard play. As I mentioned, we are kind of doing our own homebrew multiplayer format. That seems to be the most common thing that people want to play. And it does seem like they're planning for that in the future. I think they'd be silly not to, considering the success of Commander. Just the way the cards are worded to, target champion or something like that. I'm struggling to think of a Seasoned Shieldmaster. Super rare there, Guardian Human. Cool. Struggling to think of a specific example, but there's definitely wording sprinkled into cards in the game that indicate that there is going to be multiplayer support in the future. Reconstructive Surgery, Take Aim, Convalescent Tonic, Harvest Herbs, Automaton Bomber, Sanctum of Esoteric Truth, Conjure Downpour, Meltdown, and we get a Mind Break Bullet for the rare. Cool. I'm gonna try to get through these quick. This is gonna be a long video as it is. Excoriate, Powering Prayer, Enhance Hearing, Exercise Curse, Serum of Wisdom, and a Retribution. Whoops. And a Crystalline Mirror is the rare in the pack. Core sets generally tend to be pretty big. One cool thing, they don't print how many cards there are in the set on the bottom of the card. Like there's a collector number, but it doesn't say how many of how many. But there is at gatcg.com there is a card index, and they're going to be updating the index with all of the new cards. So if we don't end up pulling copies of everything, which is definitely possible, you'll be able to see what all is available. Fractal of Creation, cool. Neos, Mage Fractal. It's interesting that they've locked a fractal behind the advanced element. Sacrifice it to create a token of target token. Escape the Wreckage, Flameless Trainee, Barter Herbs. Be cool to see some alternate language for this game too. And honestly, Freezing Round, Violet Haze, another super. All units you control become distant. Put it on the bottom of the target champion's lineage. It's a curse, gives them -2 health. It'd be cool for them to do a manga series. Like, the artwork for this game is just mind-blowingly good. I got to meet Han Chu at Anime North last year. She was one of the artists for Grand Archive. Really great to meet her. She was really nice and signed one of my cards. And then I had Syladar, the creator of the game, sign my Grand Crusaders ring, which was awesome. But just the artwork is beautiful. I think they could really do a cool manga or anime series if they had the resources to do so. And I think that's one of the things that will drive Grand Archive above other newcomer TCGs, is the ability to establish that kind of IP where, you know, it's not just a card game that you're playing, there's a side story to it. It's what makes things like One Piece insanely popular. And granted, One Piece is a, you know, super well-known IP that's been around for a long time, so of course there's a lot of existing fans. But when you give people something to sink their teeth into alongside the card game and flesh it out with that manga and give it a story and everything, I would love to see them do that. Peacekeeper, Astrocyte, and Awakened Frostguard for rare. Really excited to get this video up. It's been a long time since I did YouTube. Like I said, I filmed some stuff while I was in Japan, but I just haven't had the chance, coming back and getting caught up on the store and getting back and caught up on work and all the other stuff that I have going on. I just haven't had a chance to get things going the way I wanted to, but we're getting back into YouTube for 2024 here, guys. 4 Light Scepter, a Regalia item for Cleric. Costs 1 less to materialize at the beginning of each opponent's end phase. The player has an automatic cards in their memory. Deal 2 unpreventable damage to their champion. That's pretty sweet. I love that passive damage dealing, where you just put out a bunch of different things to negatively impact your opponent and hope they stumble into it and damage themselves. It'll be interesting to see how these new heroes kind of shift the meta. It's a very ally-centric meta right now. Tincture, Subjugating Lash, Airship Engineer, Into the Fray, Trading Post, Serum Wisdom, Manic Zealot, Awakened Deacon, Fertile Grounds, Navigate the Streets, Fractal of Snow. Love the fractals. Next time when a mouse enter the battlefield rested instead. So again, pumping into that control aspect. Wind brings in a lot of combat tricks, bouncing allies back to their hands, suppressing allies. And like I said, fire is raw aggression, extra burn damage, really good card cycling and drawing ability. Wind is also really good at drawing cards too. Blue has traditionally been, or rather water has traditionally been kind of the weaker element. Lots of people are playing it more these days with more success, which is cool to see. So I do like that control style of gameplay. I really want to see it come into its own. Smash with Obelisk, and then for the rare we get a Heatwave Generator. 1 less to materialize with class bonus. Beginning of recollection phase, territory control gets +1. Pushing that extra damage with the Guardian. No ultra rare yet. Healing Aura, Excoriate, Stream of Consciousness, Organize the Alliance, Bottled 4 Light. Ooh, a foil, here we go. Oh! Okay, guys. Foil Champion, Tenoris Might of Humanity. So it is a common, but a foil champion is a sick pull. Very, very cool to see a foil champion there. Calculated Foresight, Whirlwind Vizier, and Purse Relentless Raptor. So another one of those unique allies. That is one of the highlights of this box, going to be for sure. Especially if Guardian takes off the way everybody's anticipating that it's going to. Everybody's going to want to get their hands on that. Of course, the Collector Ultra Rare ones are the most desirable in the set, but for those of us that are playing Grand Archive on a budget and still want to bling, cool to see foils of the common versions. Card quality is amazing. I talk about this in every one of my videos, but look at that. The embossed back, raised font. Feels really good in the hand. Best cardstock quality, hands down. Best printing quality, hands down. They've gone to a company that was new to TCG printing to do Grand Archive, and they have certainly hit it out of the park. Card quality, card print quality, and everything. Distilled atrophy, that's really cool. Everything about Grand Archive just bleeds quality. The artwork, the packaging, cardstock quality, print quality, all next generation done. These playmats, like this was a playmat that I won, and they do sell playmats on the Grand Archive website. You can join their Discord, So I highly recommend doing it if you're interested in the game. If you haven't checked it out yet, Discord is a great place to get new information. And they will announce when they're doing the merch days through the website. So you will have a chance to get your hands on playmats with the stitched edges, beautiful artwork, really well printed. Like, you get fab playmats for the armories every month, and frankly, they just do not stack up to the Grand Archive ones. Now, you do have to pay for the Grand Archive ones, and they are the quality is reflected in their price, for sure. But second to none, best quality playmats from a TCG that I've seen so far. Did get another box in the mail today for Yu-Gi-Oh, which is weird. I wasn't expecting anything to come from Konami. But we have the 2-player starter sets that are launching this week, and I got a really cool 2-player starter set, or a 2-player playmat for the tables at the store. I just kind of peeked in the box to see because I wasn't sure what all was coming for GA, because we got 3 cases of booster boxes, we got the 2 displays of starter decks, and then there was the welcome kit. And then there was an extra box that appeared too from Konami, so that was really cool to see. Conjure Downpour. We're gonna get an ultra rare in this box. There's a rare there, Amorphous Strike. This last pack here, we got 2 packs left for a chance at an ultra rare for this box. It'd be kind of sad if we didn't see one, actually. Foil Champion definitely makes it worth it still, but I'd be a little sad if we didn't get an ultra rare per box. Again, new company, growing pains, Coalition, and you know, new company producing TCGs, packaging it, printing it, and everything. Escape the Wreckage, Fusive Block, Academy Attendant, Trained Sharpshooter, Stolen Distiller, Powering Prayer, Enhanced Hearing, Meltdown, Tactical Retreat, and a Potion Infusion Clarity. So last pack magic for the ultra rare, guys. Unless I totally skip past it like an idiot, which wouldn't surprise me because I tend to do that. I think I did that with the cold foils and Fab. I skip over those all the time because they're just kind of hard to see when I'm watching through the camera. And when we were getting the armaments in Fractured Crown's last opening, it was the same kind of thing. Strategic Warfare, Manic Zealot, Allied War Priestess, Potion Infusion Frost. There we go, the Neos Elemental Ultra Rare, last pack magic. So it's interesting that they've put in ultra rare that is not a regalia. So you will need 4 copies of this. Ultra rares, like the rarities are, you know, somewhat difficult to pull. We probably won't see a playset of Neos Elemental as we open our case. So anybody that's wanting to main Guardian is going to have to put some serious time into searching out those 4 copies. Usually the ultra rares have been regalia, which you only need 1 copy of. But this time I see they've put in just a regular card for the ultra rare slot. So we're going to see how that ends up going. I'm going to toss all this garbage on the floor and I'll clean it up later. Set this aside for the singles. Oh. Small studio, guys. Small studio. Like and subscribe and share for more awesome content coming to you from Retroplay Games. Help me to monetize the channel so that I can do this more frequently and work less at my day job. Everybody wants to play games. Nobody wants to work at their day job, so help me do both. Sustainably. Thinking about firing up a Patreon. Don't have a ton of subscribers on the channel yet, but I think there's some cool benefits that I could give to my limited audience and help grow the channel as well. Oops. Harvest herbs. I think a lot of these are going to be switched to getting through it a little faster. Meltdown, into Retribution, and Dusklight Communion. Additional cost to activate this card, banish an Astro or Umbra element from the material deck. Banish card with Astro, destroyed to one target Fantasia. Banish card with Umbra, Dusklight. One level. Cool. Excoriate Train Sharpshooter, Powering Prayer, Airship Cruiser. I'm hoping some of the locals are going to pick up boxes so I can get them good traders. Torrential Blast. Historically, a lot of the sales for Grand Archive product have been online. We've definitely had a major surge of interest in the game locally, which is awesome to see because it is a very good game. Into the Fray, love the artwork on that. Weebs, Into the Fray playmat when? I will buy it on merch day. Overheated Brew and Fire-Blooded Oath. Plus 2 less to activate an additional cost. Ooh. Okay. Turbo cards. Get you to level 3 as fast as possible. Oh, and we got Polcock here. Bombastic Shot. An alternative Ranger. I should have stopped on that. I'm just so excited to get through it all. Range 2 range reaction cards you activate cost 1 less to activate. So there are offshoot champions, not necessarily the main ones. You can stop at level 2 if you want. You do have to stick into that once you've chosen. So if you go Polcock, you'll notice level 3 Diana is going to be Diana lineage, so she has to level up from a previous Diana champion. Norris, Convalescent Tunic, Golden Gunslinger, Armored Valkyrie, Harvest Herbs, Automaton Bomber, Shimmer Cloak. We got a foil here. Ooh, oh! Yes! They do come in foils. Look at that. Foil, full art token. That's really cool. Again, foils are special here, guys. The best way to get them, actually not opening boxes, come out to the store and get the event packs. There's a certain ratio of foils. Tune of Flames. The rare, there's a certain ratio of foils that you can pull out of those, and they're much more common to get them from the event packs than booster boxes, which is awesome. It incentivizes you to come out to the store and play. I love giving out packs. Billy, one of my guys, has pulled some insanely good foils out of his prize packs lately. Not to mention, like I said, the collector rare Arthur and the foil Grand Crusaders ring that came out. So you can win some serious value and some really, really cool cards out of those event packs. Don't sleep on that. Organized play is definitely the best way to be building up your collection. Mindbreak Bullet. Give me all of the Diana cards. Claude, Fated Visionary. Top level cards of your deck into your graveyard. Return to 2 automaton allies graveyard to memory. Cool. Unique allies are really cool. Kind of sucks to see them locked behind the advanced elements though, because again, you can turbo to level 3, you gotta do it strategically because it costs a lot of resources to do it, and they do unlock the most powerful cards, but I think especially with Sylvie, the Tamer from Dawn of Ashes, a lot of her cards shouldn't have been locked behind Terra element because it just makes her difficult to play. Aqueous Armor. Ally Link, at the beginning of your selection phase, top card of your deck in your graveyard, linked ally gets +2. And you're milling yourself, which I think has benefits for certain cards for sure. Want those cards in the grave. Arasana, Reposition, Armored Valkyrie, Potion of Healing, Odyssey's Field, Alliance, Bottled Forelight, Caretaker Drone, Fiery. Oof, look at the art! That would be a sick foil too. I hope we get one. Flash Freeze, Force Load, Navigation Compass, Regalia item. Discard a domain, draw a card into memory. Great thing about this game is it's very budget friendly, so the vast majority of meta decks don't require you to have tons of expensive cards. The outlier being if you want to play Lorraine, or Merlin rather, getting into level 3 for those Ghosts of Pendragons, those are kind of a spendy card, but like I said, it's the best card in the game. The majority of decks can be built with nothing but commons. One of our guys, Sloop Dupe, is a Flesh and Blood YouTuber. He's been coming in and playing some Grand Archive too. Sloop, do some videos about it. You know you want to. And he was able to put together a very competitive deck for very cheap. And he mops the floor with us with it, which is awesome. So you don't have to spend a ton of money to get into this game. It's very inexpensive. You get a full starter, like a full deck for your starter deck. Like I said, a full 60 cards plus the full 12 card material deck, which is awesome. So everything you need to play right out of the gate, and upgrading them is actually relatively inexpensive, especially if you come and play in the Retro Play Games locals where you can receive free singles to update your deck with. Because we want you playing, and we want you playing at your best. Cool. Nico, Guardian, level 2 Guardian. A card with floating memory is banished from your graveyard, put a lash counter. I'm going to put the top X cards. Okay, cool. Mill strategy. Love to see it. Fractal of Snow. More control there. Are we going to get a foil ultra rare? That is the question on my mind. It's always cool to get those big hits on the channel. Doesn't happen every time, but I've been getting pretty lucky with that stuff lately, to be honest. Ooh, okay, Turbulent Bullet. Nice. 2 target allies you control get +1 until end of turn. Class bonus on hit. That's pretty good. We want more Turbulent Bullets. We're gonna have to go hunting for singles. Draco, I don't know if you're watching this or not. I know you like to open packs, my dude. I'm gonna be coming for you to get some singles. Show. Ooh, okay, there we go. Fatal Timepiece. At the beginning of each player's recollection phase, if they did not materialize a card this turn, deal 2 unpreventable damage to their champion. Damn! That's really cool. And a very nice foil, too. Awakened Frostguard for the rare. I'm glad to see we're not just getting all the foil tokens. Like, it was definitely cool to see that, but it's kind of a bummer if all the foils that we pulled were just the tokens. Navigate the streets and a condensed supernova. Nice. Those Arasana upgrades. I'm pretty excited to play her too, actually. I do like the concept of gathering herbs and stuff. You know what? For science, we're just going to do this. The last pack on the right-hand side in the last box was the ultra rare. For science, let's see if it's the same in this box. There was a set, Photon Hybernova, I think it was. Yu-Gi-Oh! It was like, literally the ultra, or the secret rares were at the same spot in the whole box. Every single box. Be interesting to see if this one has the ultra rare in it. Nope, synthetic core, we get a rare there. Okay. Box mapping averted. We've opened an insane amount of product, and I'm sure companies have got this figured out by now. You'd think so anyway, but then again, like I said, okay, so Spirit of Fire there. We get a reprint from Alk. So you can build your champions. Glacial Concourse. Barter Herbs. Ooh, Vanitas. Obliviate Schemer, and Smash with Obelisk, and Assemble the Ancients, a super rare Guardian spell. was at a card show recently, which was fun. I haven't been to a show in quite some time. My buddy Rick, that's been on the channel before, was like, hey, I'm going to Woodstock to do trading card show if you're interested. There's collectibles and toys and all that kind of stuff. Demons aim for the rare. There we go, getting those Diana Pump cards. Let's do it. And it was nice to get back out there on the scene. I do the Sarnia Pop Culture Show every year, but it's pretty much the only one I do just because it's local. So the logistics of getting to that are a little bit easier than packing up a ton of the stuff from the shop and going out of town. So it was certainly a reminder of how much of a pain that can be, but also how much fun. You get to see some really cool stuff. There was a BGS 6 first edition Charizard there. Guy wanted $13,000 for it, so a little bit much, but it was cool to see it. Rare toys. Ooh, okay. Carter Synthetic Reaper. Whenever an ally dies, recover 1. Sacrifice an ally you control is +2 until your turn. Wow. Okay, so that's another ultra rare there. That is not a Regalia, so we're going to have to be hunting down multiple copies of these ultra rares, guys. That's really cool artwork, though. Whenever an ally dies, recover 1. So if you can pump out tons of tokens, you should be able to recover a decent chunk of life. His ability there. Box over, we pulled the ultra rare, move on to the next box, sell the dead packs. Just kidding, we don't do that here. Open all of this product because we still have a chance at getting some really cool foils, which could also include a foil ultra rare or a collector ultra rare. So we're not going to miss that. The thrill of pulling that Merlin was awesome. And it was guaranteed per case. I don't know. Weebs did announce that they were doing anything like that with this set. And I think it did kind of hurt Fractured Crown, unfortunately, because you could just open like a single box from a case and pull this. Oh man, that's such a cool artwork. I want to see that in foil. You could just open one box from the case and pull the collector ultra rare by some insane stroke of luck and then sell the rest of the boxes. And there was really no way to know if the leftover boxes were dead or not. So it created a bit of controversy, and the prices of that set for sealed product definitely reflected that. Weebs had to announce a change to the map policy because stores were just blowing out boxes way below map. So the collector, like the collector super rares from those boxes weren't the be all end all. There was still some serious value to be had in other foils. But certainly, Anathema's End. But certainly it was a detriment to the value of that set overall, and people were dumping boxes. It tanked the value. Not going back to seeing that, or we're not seeing that with this set. There's no guarantee of pulling one out of a case. I think we got to get lucky. I did not get a single. Oops. There we go. Repelling Palm Blast. Look at that. Beautiful foil artwork. Return all allies with 2 attack. Ooh, with their memories. Okay, floating memory. That's a cool card. We're going to need a play set of those for those wind shenanigans. Whoops. Deploy Gun Shield and Resplendent Kite Shield for the rare. I love the tricks of wind. Oh, you played all these allies and spent all these resources. Boop, put them back to your hand. Not today. Not happening. Take aim. Oasis. There's a lot of Oasis trading posts. Manic Zealot, Awakened Deacon, Perfect Repulsion, Overwhelming Swing, and a Celestial Calling. Getting a lot of good Cleric stuff, getting a lot of good Diana stuff, and the Tenoris ultra rare too. Well, actually 2 ultra rares with Guardian class, so I'm gonna see which of the champions I like the playstyle of the best and then build from there. I always grab one of each of the starter decks just to give myself the option of trying everything, and then also have decks on hand if new people want to give the game a try. The demo decks for this were great, but they didn't include any of the elements. It was just the normal elements, which is fine. I think that teaches you the basics of the game, but definitely the real flavor and Storm of Thorns for the rare. 1 damage prevented. Cool. Floating memory. The real flavor of the game comes into play when you have access to the elements. So definitely the starter deck is the best way to fully enjoy Grand Archive. But I think with the welcome kit, or the launch kit rather, there are some demo decks in there. And I think those ones are retooled to include the elemental aspect of the game, which is cool. So, Gunslinger range 1. That's pretty good for 1. Fiery Duelist. Scavenge the Distillery. Crimson Tear. Sweet! When she's attacking or retaliating against the human, it gets +1 when you activate a reaction card. Target's Crimson Tear. Draw a card. Nice. That is a very, very strong ally, for sure. I believe she also comes in a Collector Super, so I think that would probably be the one to get outside of like Collector Ultra Champions. I'm not sure exactly what's in here. The product sheet didn't... I haven't looked at in a while, so I can't remember what it specifies in terms of advanced rarities, etc. available. But if you want to find out more information than what I'm able to give you here, you can again go to gatcg.com, and all of that stuff is going to be available on the Alchemical Revolution product page. Okay, cutting into box 3, we're getting to the halfway point of our case. 6 boxes per case. I don't go ham on any other TCG. Like for Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, we haven't done any Magic openings because Magic's not really a popular jam at the store, but I don't go ham for any other game like I do for Grand Archive. I've never opened a case of anything in my life, let alone with the Fractured Crown launch when we were getting 18 boxes. Like, God, that was such a long video. Umbra Sight and a Comet Fall for the rare. Cool, so Arasano definitely are getting a lot of the power cards for her. Gonna have to give her a try. Excited to see what foils await us in this box. Attune with Flames for the rare. Let me know in the comments below which hero you are most excited to try out in this set. Or if you've never played the game before, which hero you're excited to play overall. So I know there's going to be, now that the product availability and stuff has kind of been sorted out on Weeb's end, there's going to be a lot more people that are starting to enter the game. I've seen that myself at my own store. We're getting Spell Shield Wind. We're starting to get some, definitely some more interest from the player community, which is awesome. You know, people get burnt out on what they're playing and they want to try something new, and I was like, hey guys, Grand Archive, like, I've been trying to push this forever. You need something new to play, just as a side game or whatever. I just want people playing it. And people really like it. Of course they do, because it's a great game. Exalted Throne. Doramagian. Dormammu, I've come to bargain. But people really like it, because yes, it is a great game. So definitely give it a try. Oh, and for people that are more into the online aspect of play, oh, the foil there. Noise, what is it? Not this one. Or this one. Ah, Crystalline Mirror. Sweet. Beautiful foil artwork there. Lost my train of thought. Got excited by the foil. Fractal of Creation for the rare. What was I talking about? Yeah, I don't remember. Short memory. Short-term memory. It'll come to me. But at any rate, I am just happy to see this game getting some traction, especially at my... Oh, online play. Right. Okay, so for anybody that is more keen to play online or on their computer or what have you, Turbulent Bullet for the rare. You do have the option to play on Tabletop Simulator, and that was kind of like the quote-unquote official way to do it before the game launched. There was also a print and play. So Weebs of the Shore, again, you really got to hand it to them for their willingness to do whatever it takes to get the game out there. They gave away the game, essentially. You could print it out. There was print and play decks for starter decks that you could just kind of put together and play, and then they had Storm of Thorns. And then they also had the whole card index was open for everybody to download and play. You could print them out, you could play proxies of them. Obviously not allowed. Oh, okay, the breakdown here, so we're going to go over that in a second. Obviously not allowed for organized play. So you could also do Tabletop Simulator, which would allow you to play a digital version of the game. And I love it. Tabletop Simulator is awesome, but it can be very resource intensive, especially for people who don't have super powerful computers. I do have a reasonably decent computer, and even then, Dusklight Communion, even then it still does spin up the fans and stuff when I'm trying to play Tabletop Sim, which can be quite distracting and annoying, frankly. So somebody in the community, if you join the Grand Archive Discord community, you will find the option to play using Cockatrice, which is traditionally a Magic TCG simulator. But one of the fine folks in the Grand Archive community took it upon themselves to port Grand Archive into Cockatrice. And it is a lot less resource intensive. I think that it is a lot more efficient in terms of use than Tabletop Simulator. Tabletop Simulator can be a little clunky, especially when you're first trying to learn it and get used to it. Fireblood Oath. So anybody that's interested in giving Grand Archive a try on the digital side, Cockatrice is now an option, which I highly, highly recommend. Very, very easy to install. You'll find all of the instructions for that on the Grand Archive Discord. So definitely pop over there. Like I said, more information. There's deck lists. People talk about, speculate about what's going to be meta, talk about how you can beef up your decks, and we'll critique your ideas and stuff if you post your brews on there. We have build.sylvie.org for deck building, Torrential Blast for the rare. There's also gabrary.net, which has some articles for competitive play, as well as the entire card database available, and then Luxora's map if you want to see breakdowns of tournaments and what the winning decks have been and what's going on in terms of meta competitive play, power deck lists and stuff like that. Definitely give those a look. Yeti Gaming is like a North American hub for Scry the Stars for the ultra rare. There we go, get that Cleric spell. Don't like seeing the ultra rares getting into those 4-of spots though. Man, that's gonna be tough. Yeti Gaming does weeklies, so it's $5 to play online via webcam. So you have to have all the cards. It's not like you can do it on Tabletop Simulator or anything like that anymore. People are expecting that you have the physical cards, but there is also an online avenue. I know a lot of people, like Weebs is still trying to ramp up the distribution and get deals with major distributors. Getting product in the European region was a tough one for some people. So Weebs is addressing all of that stuff. Small company, Kickstarter, they're doing the best they can. But in the meantime, you can still get a hold of product and you can play webcam tournaments. Like I said, you can do the Cockatrice, you can do the Tabletop Simulator. There are a ton of different avenues available for anybody that wants to play this game. Is that a foil? It's just a dinged up corner in the back there. Vanishing Shot, and Arrested War Shield for the rare. A little bit of a chewed up corner. I didn't do it. Love the backs of the cards. Feels so good. And while we're on the topic, before we open more, so I was talking about the breakdown of what there are in here. So there are 8 ultra rares in this set. There are 29 super rares, 42 rares, 54 uncommons, 81 uncommons. So not a terribly oversized set. I think it's smaller than Dawn of Ashes. Dawn of Ashes was massive, and it was like, okay, you can open a whole case and still not pull an entire playset of uncommons. It was a little brutal, so it's nice to see that they've kind of toned it down for this set. Academy Attendant. Ooh, Blazing Charge, really cool art. Automaton Bomber. Here's the land. Storm of Thorns. Rare. Yeah, so if there's 8 ultra rares and there's 1 ultra rare per box, and maybe we'll get lucky and pull a foil ultra rare for potential to get 7, we still won't get an entire play. We won't even get 1 unique copy of all the ultra rares, let alone a playset. So gonna have to do some trading, which is great. It encourages the social aspect of the game. They call it a trading card game because you should be trading with people. Start Celestial Dawn. There we go. Accept the effects deck. Banish it instead. Love it. And down to the last row here, folks. Really loving these tokens, herb tokens. Destructive Surgery, oops, spoiled the foil. Strategic Warfare, very cool. Happy to see that we pulled a foil champion though. Battlefield Spotter, rare. That was definitely sweet. And you know what? We still got 3 more boxes. We're only halfway there. I'm gonna kind of get going on these a little bit more here. Speed this up a little bit. Aqueous Armor for the rare. No foil here. Manic Zealot. I think at this point we've probably seen all the unique cards. So now we're just going to go ahead and speed up and get into the meat and potatoes of pulling the rarity. We're looking for foils. And Constellatory Spire. Nice. 2 less to activate, draw a card. New negated card activation. Rest it, deal 2 damage to target unit. That's pretty cool. So we're already an hour and 22 minutes in, so we did the entire starter decks and we got still 3 more boxes to go, so we're going to speed this up a little bit. Navigation Compass, we did get a foil of that, which is sweet. I'm getting hungry, frankly. Umbral Tithe. Rare. See it. Tether in Flames. 3 boxes in. We've got to have seen all of the unique, at least commons and probably uncommons at this point, because it doesn't, like I said, seem like the set is as large as Dawn of Ashes. Oh, we got a foil. It's a Manic Zealot. Nice. On death, 2 damage to each champion. And a Freitas, Master Tactician. No super rare unique allies. Japan is an absolute blast. Company is Weebs of the Shore, so I'm sure there's a lot of weebs in here checking out the anime stuff. I cannot recommend enough that you take a trip there when you can make it happen. Stars aligned for me, and I was able to do it. I studied Japanese for a decent amount of time before I left, which is super helpful. You can totally get by with no Japanese. But it's a beautiful country. The people are great. There's so much fun to be had there. Distilled Atrophy for the rare. If you have the opportunity, please, please, please go check it out. It's very crowded though. There was a record number of tourists there this year. So places like Kyoto and the popular tourist spots in Tokyo, Osaka, there is a ton of people. But don't let that dissuade you. Like, there's a ton of people in those cities to begin with because they are huge cities. But it was an absolute blast. Recharged my batteries. And some of the stuff I saw in Akihabara really supercharged my ambitions for what I want to do with retroplay games. And I don't have anything specific in mind quite yet that I want to share, but there are going to be some cool things in the works. What do I do with my cutting open thing? That's not good. That thing's really sharp. I think I might have thrown it on the floor. Okay, well, I'm going to have to find that because let's see. This isn't good. Oh, okay, that works. Tweezers as a stand-in. I 100% am going to stab myself with that when I go to pick up all the garbage I threw on the floor. Frankly, I'm surprised I didn't stab myself with it when I picked up all the garbage to throw onto the floor. Box toppers would be cool to see too, or buy a box promos. A lot of other TCGs are doing that. It doesn't have to be anything super fancy. Like, you have the chance of pulling some serious value in this game to begin with, which is awesome. But it'd be cool to see something along those lines. Potion Infusion Clarity for the rare. Get them tweezers out. The box opening tweezers. Actually, really scared about that hobby knife that just disappeared. Exalted Doromegian Throne. Getting playsets of that kind of stuff. Should end up with playsets, I hope, of all the commons, uncommons, and rares. That would be nice. Super rares, probably not. Homespire Wraith. I don't anticipate that we would get all the super rares because it is a core set again, so it is pretty big. Fractured Crown was a different story. I ended up between the cases of Astral Seal, super rare. Between the cases of Dawn of Ashes, actually I think I went over a case of Dawn of Ashes. I opened like an extra box or something. I did manage to get a complete set of all the ultra rares from that set, plus a couple of extras, and then I pulled like 2 play sets and some change from Fractured Crown. So, oh, a foil Umbra Astral Seal. Oh, cool. Oops, dropped it. Foil super rare and beautiful too. Like, put that right up. Love it. Love the foils in this game. And like I said, they feel special to pull them. And we got a Shatterfall Keep for the rare in the pack. And because of the difficulty in pulling them, sorry for the wobbly camera guys, you breathe on it wrong, it goes crazy. Because of the difficulty in pulling them, it does actually make them worth money. For the most part. Not all foils, but certainly they're worth more than their non-foil counterparts, and it gives you something to trade. So you're not just opening dead packs, hoping for the best, and, you know, going away disappointed. There are good value. Awakened Frostguard. There is good value to be pulled in just getting the foils. And it makes it fun again. It's not like Magic where everything's special, so nothing is special anymore. You actually feel like you're getting something of value in every box. Just feels cool again. Rococo Explosive Maven. Your influence is 4 or less, deal 2 damage to target champion. Nice! For 1! That's kind of hard to get to that influence though. Super rare. Like a playset of her. Ranger Automaton. Enter. Influence 4 or less. That's just straight burn, like for 1. That's a good card. Cyclonic Strike. That's a good card too. Last bonus for the Guardian though, which sucks. Good Guardian card. It's designed to be playing those high-end, like, super expensive, big swing cards. Genie, Gifted Mechanist. Banish card from graveyard. Banish card is Automaton, Summon a Trumpet. Banish card of Floating Memory. Put 2 buff counters on an armed Baton ally you control. That's pretty good. Water representing. Another Umbra foil in here. Cool. Oh! Okay, guys. So 2 foil champions that we've pulled. Level 3. Foil Diana. That's awesome. And then a Tether in Flames for the rare. Let's pull our champions out of here, actually. With Diana. These are really nice. Tenoris. We didn't get the level 3, we got the level 2 Tenoris. We'll put those on as the spotlight. Oh, and Diana's hidden. There we go. There are spotlight foils going on there. Nice. That's cool, especially since she's my preferred champion for this set. I'm excited to slap her into a deck and see how she does. Umbra foils are super beautiful too. Take cover for the rare. Like, purple's my favorite color. But man, that is just gorgeous. Tenoris, Norm Element, boring. Any of the foil elemental cards are definitely where I want to be at. And Comet Fall again, so definitely a playset of Comet Falls. Get your Star Calling on. Carter, Synthetic Reaper, so we got 2 of those. Double up on the ultra rare. I was kind of hoping to see as many unique ones as possible, but that's fine. We'll have one to trade away and we can get it into another ultra rare here. And with any luck, we'll get one of them collector special super cards we can sell to get more singles. Beef up our decks. Violet Haze, super rare. It's controlled from distant. Good, need those. You need them ranger cards to go with our foil Diana Duskstalker that I am pumped to play. That was a sick pull. Heatwave Generator for the rare. And again, I'm really happy that Weebs put out that statement that we were able to open boxes early as stores. I mean, it builds hype for the game, and man, I sure do love opening packs. Celestial Calling. Smell of new cards. Feeling of ripping the plastic. Dopamine rush of pulling those foils and special cards. And we'll know if we're going to hit one of them collectors right away because they have full art, so it goes right to the edge and like you're able to see it as soon as you open the pack. There's one in there. Just so exciting. Enhanced Potency, 1 less to activate class bonus, rest target potion if you do next time activate that ability. Nice. Double potion effects. Interesting to see which cards from Dawn of Ashes and Fractured Crown factor into this too. Some speculation from, there's a lot of great Grand Archive channels out there, guys. I don't specialize in it. Ooh, Tactical Retreat for the foil. I did think about that, starting a dedicated Grand Archive channel. And Freitas Master Tactician, again, need them rangers. I did think about starting a dedicated Grand Archive channel, but frankly, I just have enough trouble as it is keeping on top of doing this channel, let alone starting a whole new gem. But there are some really great Grand Archive channels out there. So Main Deck has a primer on 2 of the 3 starter decks, and then Shinja on TM32 also has the final deck. I think it's Diana that he covered. So there's great content out there to get you acclimated to this new set and the new champions. You can find all of the links to all of those guys on the Grand Archive Discord, as well as any offshoot Discords. Like we have a Grand Archive Canada Discord, for those of you that aren't aware at this point. Retroplay Games is located in beautiful Sarnia, Ontario, Canada. And you will find links to all of that stuff in there. Shade Cursed Hunter. Nice. Get them Ranger stuff. Last box, guys. Last pack Magic. Collector Super Rare. Foil Ultra Rare. Not a Collector Super Rare, I'll tell you that. Well, actually, I don't know, because it'd be in the middle of the pack, right? So. Dusklight Communion is our 3rd copy of that, I believe. So far, just filling up, I think, a single booster box with singles right now. Just kind of set all these aside because I know the guys are going to want to pick at them. I know some boxes are definitely going to get opened at the store. We're going to do sealed. Some of our guys are a big fan of sealed play, which is awesome. I really like sealed play too, to be honest with you. Make sure I don't toss my starter decks on the floor. Okay, box 5 of 6. We got one more after this. If we're gonna get that special card, we're gonna get it in the next 2 boxes, you don't say. Watch it be like absolute last pack magic. Or, as was my luck with Dawn of Ashes, everybody else will pull the special cards. I won't get anything from this one. Which is fine. It's awesome to see players in my store get those come-ups. It keeps them coming back. It's like super exciting. People come into the store and they buy a pack of Pokemon for their kids, and then the kid rips a Charizard. Like, yes. Carter, Synthetic Reaper. Oh, so that's 3. We're definitely going Ranger. So I mean, cool. get those collector or get those ultra rares for Ranger, because that's the class that I really want to play. So I'm going to go through once the index is released and see exactly what cards we're missing here, because I do have... Okay, yep. We're getting all the good Ranger stuff, guys. It's a Ranger's case. I do build play sets out of each of the sets that launches. Again, I've never gone ham on any game like I have Grand Archive. I really believe in it. It's a great game. I'm really excited to play it. I love opening it. I love collecting it. I wish I could afford more of the super rares and ultra rares, but just not in my budget. But I will have to get on there and see which of the cards we missed. Exercise Curses. Cool. Assemble the Ancients. Getting them... We had to get an ultra rare for Tenoris too, so can't discount that Guardian. But I don't like the easy button decks. I like decks that require a little bit more finesse. Torrential Blast. So we're not really getting any more ultra rares in this box per se. What was that? The first pack we ripped one? Like, what are the odds? And that's why you can see how Shade Cursed Hunter, Ranger rares. That's why you can see how Fractured Crown would have been kind of easy to, you know, well, pulled the one card off the very first pack of the first box in my case. Like, what are the odds of that? It does happen, and then there's no way for everybody to know whether the remaining boxes have any value contained within them or not. So I'm glad they didn't do that with it. Like, it's cool that everybody would have the opportunity to pull something nice. Load Soul. Okay, there we go. Getting them Ranger cards. But at the end of the day, you know, we don't want to have a situation where stores are unable to sell loose products, because I even have some of the guys that buy products from me are like, oh, well, you know, can you open a sealed case right in front of me? Like, realistically, not every single time, no. Like, I can't just sit on a sealed case for the chance that somebody wants to come in and buy a box, right? Like, I gotta open it up and put it out on the floor so that the general public can get access to it right away. So we don't want to find ourselves in a situation where it's tough to move those loose boxes. There's no guarantee. Totally get it from a collector's standpoint, and when you're spending money on something, you want the best possible chance, but the reality is that Fable Step, Ranger Skill Reaction. The reality is that you're just not, you know, when you guarantee in that case, the downsides outweigh the good. But it was cool for weebs to be like, hey, look, we want every... Ooh, Swooping Talons. That's a really cool foil. Claude, Faded Visionary, getting some good Cleric stuff too, the super rares. It was cool for them to, you know, have the general collector base in mind and give everybody the chance to pull something cool. Like, even though it was a guarantee, the thrill of ripping that Merlin out of that box was awesome. And of course, you're not always guaranteed to get like the bonkers hit. Like, you know, one card is probably going to be better above all the rest. And that was the case for Merlin in that set. Not that the art or anything is not desirable, but, you know, Merlin was the poster champion for that set, so of course her card would have been the most desirable one to pull. And it felt really great to do that, so I can see both sides of it. What do you think? Do you want guaranteed cases? Do you buy cases of cards at a time, or do you buy booster boxes? And what do you think is the right play? Let me know in the comments. Should they include a guaranteed collector super rare per box? Or is it healthier for the secondary economy and make you more confident as a purchaser to not have that guarantee? Because there could have been like 2 ultra rares, 2 collector super rares per box. Technically speaking, it was 1 per, I think it was every 12 boxes or so. Like, it was a case guarantee, but it was a lesser value than the total number of cards or total number of boxes. So there was the off chance that some cases would have had 2 collector super rares in them, which would have been absolutely bonkers to get on the channel. I'm not aware of any videos. Granted, I haven't spent a ton of time on box opening videos just because I opened so many of them myself. If there is, I would love to see, because it would be so cool to see somebody pull 2 collector supers from a single box, or even like a collector ultra rare and, you know, hit the jackpot on the foil from your deck. Ooh, here we go. Violet Haze is a foil, getting them super. We're doing really good on getting the foil super rares, I will say. Potion Infusion Starlight there. I really like the foil Umbra cards. Like, they look gorgeous. My favorite color, my favorite card type, which is foil. I don't know if that precludes us from anything more special in this box. Once we hit all the foils, like, I'm pretty sure the collector card is gonna capture that spot in the middle of the pack that would have a foil in it. Celestial Calling, there we go. Getting them good Cleric hits. But I think, just like with previous entries in this series, it's going to be, you know, the vast majority of the desirable cards that you need aren't going to be locked into those super high rarities. Like, okay, cool, we've gotten a playset of those ultra rares. Even Ghost of Pendragon. Ghost of Pendragon, the best card in the game, it's not an ultra rare, it was a super rare. But they didn't, you know, lock you into having to spend tons of money to get that good for your deck, which is nice. At the end of the day, it's too expensive to play. It's a game. People want to play. You make it too expensive, people can't afford to play the game. It's also not good. So I think Weebs has done a really good job of balancing the collectability and the playability of things. And considering, you know, small team, these guys just had an idea and they wanted to run with it. So it's very cool to see what they've been able to accomplish with the resources that they've had. So props to you guys, weebs. I don't know, I think the dev team watches these. I'm pretty sure they watched, like, my first Grand Archive opening video had like 1.3k views. It's one of the best viewed, most viewed best videos on the channel. If you guys are watching this, props to you, weebs. You've done a great job with this game. And you know, as a veteran player of basically all the TCGs, I play pretty much everything. You can see up on the shelf behind me, I've got the video games, I've got the Warhammer, I've got the Grand Archive, I've got the Yu-Gi-Oh!, I've got the Pokemon next to me. Magic I quit. That's a whole other video. Why? I kind of alluded to it. I don't like the direction that the game has taken, but you guys have really captured me with this one, and a lot of other people as well, and I just really can't wait to see what the continued success of Grand Archive looks like. Thanks for a great game, thanks for doing a great job, and you know, most importantly, guys, like I said, you can jump on the Discord and you can chat with the devs. I asked a question the other day. Ooh, Crimson Tier, here we go. Regarding the Omnidex. So that's something else I should talk about too, but they were saying, oh well, the Omnidex is ready for signups. Fanatical Devotee, look at that foil, guys. The Omnidex is available for signups. Stores are going to start getting accepted, I think, coming up on Wednesday this week, 24th. And so I was like, hey, is this going to be like in Gem, where I can have my store account and my player account be the same thing? And the creator of the game, Silidar, jumped on there. Nope, you're going to need a separate account. So they really do care about the community and are very responsive to feedback, and will jump right on the Discord and chat with you, which you are never ever going to see from a major card game. Like maybe Flesh and Blood. Oh, okay, cool. Serum of Wisdom. Maybe Flesh and Blood. I know some people are somewhat friendly with the creators and the dev team for them, and to their credit, Legend Story Studios, I have a rep that will reach out to me if I want to schedule a call to talk about Flesh and Blood, or you know, what's going on with the product, what's going on with events at my store and stuff like that. Fractal Creation, I do have the opportunity to communicate with somebody directly at the company, where I'm fairly certain you're never going to get to talk to anybody higher up at Wizards of the Coast, Hasbro. Another end. Nice. We need them bullets. We need them good Ranger bullets. And it just, again, is a testament to the care that they're putting into this. Like, community feedback. Oh, well, we need an answer to this, or there's a busted card or something like that. They take all that into account. And there's Proxia's Vault that you can get involved in on their website. Print off cards that will help address some of the weaknesses, or introduce an answer to an oppressive card or an oppressive archetype. They're all about getting involved with the community. And like I wanted to get on the Omnidex too. Organized play, official organized play through the Grand Archive developers is going to be coming live on Wednesday, so you can go and sign up on the Omnidex, and that is going to be the account you will need for competitive Grand Archive play. Definitely want to get on gatcg.com and sign up for the Omnidex. So for those of you guys that are my players, Orb of Hubris, super rare regalia item. For those of you guys that are my players, I posted in the Discord, but if you're local and you're seeing this, sign up for the Omnidex before you come out for the next Grand Archive event, because we are going to start using that to dictate our competitive play. And for store owners that are potentially watching this, it is going to be your one-stop shop to manage your competitive play scene, as well as apply for event kits, which I think is a great approach. I found that I was having problems, like initially with Dawn of Ashes launch. Based on the amount of product you ordered, you would get a certain number of event packs, which are the prizing that has the foils and stuff that I was talking about earlier. So based on the order that you put in for the product, you would get a certain number of event packs. And that was fine for Dawn of Ashes. And then I followed up with the same amount of product for Fractured Crown, expecting the same, and got half the number of packs. So they are removing distributors' ability to withhold Genie Gifted Mechanist. There we go. To withhold any prizing packs or anything like that, and they're putting it all into their own hands, which I think is a very good move. At the end of the day, players come out to compete for prizing. If you don't have prizing, you're going to have a hard time. Gloomspire Wraith. You are going to have a hard time attracting players that want those prizes, and it's going to hurt your scene. So it's nice that Weebs has taken it upon themselves to handle that on their own. Demon's Aim. I've had some issues with some of the other stuff I've requested from distribution too. I've tried to get banners for Flesh and Blood that I wasn't able to get, promo materials and stuff. They've been good for some things and then not so great for others. And you know, I think it's just kind of when a hot new thing comes out, they want to try to capitalize on it as much as they can. At the end of the day, distribution is trying to make money, and unfortunately in the TCG scene, Astral Seal, the distributors are basically the only ones making money. Distributors and box breakers that are doing it for the lulz. Forge Light Shield Maiden, common foil, and Amorphous Strike. The breakers are the ones that are really getting the breakers and distribution are the ones that are really getting the meat and potatoes out of this. And I have some other content planned where I want to kind of talk a little bit about what's going on in the TCG scene, what's going on in the market. The Eternal Kingdom, guys. For the last ultra rare of the case, barring a foil, domains you control have reservable upkeep. At the beginning of a recollection phase, pay 2 if you don't sacrifice it. Aimed at the Guardian, who is the master of domains in this set. So that's cool. That would be a dope foil too, actually. Artwork on that card is just beautiful. Umbral Tithe. Gonna have some leftovers. Sort out play sets of all the rares and everything that I get them, and like I said, I'm gonna have to go shopping. Get some singles to complete my sets. Splendent Kite Shield. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. We want this one. Hey, Artist Hanchu, Vanitas, Oblivious Schemer. Thank you, Han. Beautiful artwork. Dropping cards, getting excited. Getting to the end of the box. The chance at a special collector card is dwindling, folks. Maybe it's that last pack magic, maybe not. Maybe it is for somebody at the store to consider. So, I have 2 more cases. So if I don't pull one out of this, there's a pretty good chance that one of the other cases at the store is going to have it. Shade Cursed Hunter. Nice. So all the more incentive for you guys to come out to Retroplay Games. Visit shop.retroplaygames.com and pick up the case that contains the Collector Ultra Rare. Here we go, last pack. Are we going to get a foil? Nope. Gloomspire Black Market. That is it. That is it, folks. 6 boxes. Grand Archive, Alchemical Revolution, plus the 3 starter decks we opened, so hopefully that gives you a decent primer into what is going to be available to you in this set on Friday. Don't miss it, guys. You can pre-order shop.retroplaygames.com or hit me up directly. All my contact info is available there. Hit me up through YouTube. Hopefully you see some comments and discussion going on for some of the topics we were going over. I want to know, what's your favorite champion from this set? What do you love about this game? Get active on the discussion. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more awesome content coming to you from Retroplay Games. And until next time, play on.